Hey everyone, so today we're going to be examining this Mimbres Polychrom bowl from circa 1000 to 1500 AD in southwest New Mexico, and we're going to be examining it through this cool, groovy new archaeological thought process called processualism put forth by my man, Louis Binford. And so, some questions that we have through this would be, how does this pot show an adaptation to the environment, and also, why was it made? What does it represent? And the way that we're going to be going through and thinking about it through our new methodology that we've got going on would be to examine this pot through context of other pots like it, either in design or also found in the same stratigraphic sequence or similar sites. And then also we're going to look at it through ethnoarchaeology. And there's a pretty good quote also by Louis Binford for this that states that ethnoarchaeology is a Rosetta Stone, a way of translating the static material found on an archaeological site into the vibrant life of a group of people who in fact left them there. Which is pretty, because it shows, it's helping you to move just this thought of, oh, this is just a pot, into someone made this and there's a reason behind it. And so the interpretations that we can draw from this in answering the questions, for the first questions, environmental adaptation, a group of people that's not well adapted to the environment or is kind of struggling in what they're doing is not going to spend this much time creating such a intricate piece of artwork just within a pot. You can see there's some red, there's pretty intricate line works on this, I don't want to say basket backpack, and then also there's some lines on the outside and a full human figure, which I believe is showing a pregnant woman carrying a dead animal as shown by the horns and hooves. And so if you're having a hard time surviving, you're not going to have someone sit down and spend this much time making something. It doesn't make sense. So they're probably pretty well adapted to the environment that they're living in. And as far as the second question for the why and what does it represent, first lens you can look through is perhaps ritual. Not even is it just a pot can hold things, but this is a pretty intensely decorated pot. And so in art, a lot of times pregnant women can signify different fertility rituals or through a religious lens, wanting to be pregnant. Or it's a mythology, and like, oh, pregnant woman, and she's carrying this dead animal. Could be a ritual, could be a different mythology or a story that's being told through this art. And then also, what we're looking through, not just religion, we can look through a socioeconomic class group. Their red wasn't very popular on southwestern pottery till kind of this era and then later. So having red on this shows that it was probably a little bit more expensive than the rest of these pots. So someone has to be wealthy enough to afford this, or they're not going to make it. This again can also be put into the religion because religion is important. So this red could also be the signifier that this was important, it was expensive, it's going to be used for these religious purposes. And so the significance of this artifact through everything else that we're looking at would be that this is showing a culture that's pretty well adapted to its environment. It's doing pretty well. It's making pretty intrinsic art that's either following a mythology, showing a class structure, or just being pretty. I mean, look at it. So, yeah, everyone have a really groovy day. Please enjoy the